We ain't partners. We ain't brothers and we ain't friends. I'm putting you down and keeping you down until Gans is locked up or dead. And if Gans gets away, you're gonna be sorry you ever met me.
I'm already sorry.
Nick Nolte is a cop. Eddie Murphy is a con.
I can help you get Gans, but you gotta get me out of here first.
You're crazy.
He pulls some strings.
See how you need me a little more than you thought, huh, Mr. K?
He pulls some scams.
So where do you want to do it, honey? Want to hop up on the counter?
Nah, we can go in this room over here next to the bathroom.
Give me a break,
I'm
will
dead
ya?
serious.
Come on, we're on the move. Let's go.
They've got two killers to track down.
Toss me that piece, and he won't waste him.
They've got a kidnapping going down.
I want the money. I don't know what you're talking about. Want that Indian to snap her neck.
They've got a fortune to hunt down.
I want to know what's going on between you and Gans.
$500,000.
And it's all coming down in 48 hours.
But I gave you 48 hours to come up with something, and the clock's running.
This guy got a real itchy trigger finger and he's a nervous cop. You better listen to him, you get your brains blown out.
I'm the calm type.
I'm looking for a good old boy by the name of Billy Bear.
Never heard of him.
Heard of him now, man? You know, you are real stupid for a cop, man. You following this guy too close.
Yeah, well, most cops are pretty stupid, but since you landed in jail, what the hell does that make you?
What's happening, Luther? I'm sorry about the door, man. Did that hurt? It looked real painful.
You come clean and we're going again right here, right now.
Are you in some hurry or something?
Yes, I'm in a hurry. I haven't done anything for 3 years.
Oh, you used to be a priest or something.
This ain't my night.
If you screw up, I can promise you, you're going down.
They couldn't like each other less. They couldn't need each other more.
You want to bet?
And if they can get off each other's case,
Look at you. You got a $500 suit on. You're still a lowlife.
Yeah, but I look good.
they just might solve this one.
Being a cop is a hard job, Jack.
Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy.
We ain't brothers, we ain't partners, and we ain't friends. Now, if Gans gets away with my money, you're gonna be sorry you ever met me.
I'm already sorry.
48 hours.
Y'all be cool.
If anyone ever asks me, Mike, how do you make a good podcast? I just tell them bullshit and experience is all it takes, right? And today we are taking both that experience and that bullshit, and we're going back to 1983, back when I was only 7 years old and my two co-hosts were probably in their late teens, as we discuss the Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy comedy classic 48 Hours, or 48 Ers, because literally the title is HRS, the abbreviation for hours. But I'm not left alone on this one. No. I have my usual partners tagging along. First up is your worst fucking nightmare, an Irish guy with a drink. Christopher, how are you doing this fine evening, and what are you drinking? What drink are you holding?
I'm doing very well, Michael. I don't know if I should say what. No, this is with my nice Celtics, Boston Celtics
Very
World
nice.
Champion glass. I am drinking a Black Russian.
That
Which
actually
takes-
quite that fits. I mean, not
which
in the
takes me
racist way.
back.
It fits in the
also takes
movie
me
way
back.
too. Yeah.
It sure does. I love Eddie's
Yeah.
reaction to it too.
So
So yes, very excited.
Yep. Next up is a man whose dick gets hard in the wind. Oh, fuck. Next up is a man whose dick gets hard if the wind blows. Your favorite and mine, David. How are you, sir? And I wrote this assuming you were going to be outside a restaurant, but you're not. So what are you drinking?
I got home already, so good for me. I was drinking box sodas all night, Mikey. So I'm
Vodka
kind of done
sodas
now.
all night. I know that's
All
a good.
fucking about it.
That's
You
good.
mean hold one up right now that you're drinking.
I can't. I can't even hold my arm up right now. I'm lucky I got home,
Oh,
guys.
Jesus, that's good. That makes me feel
Jesus.
really.
He's
Oh,
lucky
I
you
should
got
have
home.
said what I should have said.
What
is
are you
next
drinking,
up,
Michael?
I'm drinking an iced
I'm
coffee
not.
with some Seagram 7 in it. But I should have said next up is a
Hey.
man whose son is now the man of the house because he beat him up. He beat him in a wrestling match,
Oh.
David. Yep.
Yeah,
I know this has nothing to do with the
actually
movie,
gonna
but
listen, I'm really distraught about that.
It
I
comes
know.
to a
Actually
certain
going-
age. It's a certain age where, you know,
I had him the first minute, and I couldn't sustain that, so I beat him.
Andrew texted me because I thought you should let you know I beat up my dad. I said, "You're the man of the house now."
He didn't beat me
Obviously-
up. He just
Yeah.
out wrestled me, which
Well,
honestly,
that's all it takes.
really,
I mean,
wow.
he could have had you submit.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. This is a favorite movie of. Oh, I forgot to mention. I didn't mention all of our listeners. One of our great listeners, my buddy Michael.
We have a Michael and a
This-
David who listen.
Oh
We
yeah,
have a
Michael,
Brian.
Michael
Do we have
Bass.
a
We
Chris?
know Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
hosting. But he.
Hi, Eric.
This is one of his favorite movies. Actually, I'm not sure. He's probably never mentioned. But all I want to know is who is ready to go on a trim hunt.
Is that? I don't think I would have understood any of those
That
the
is
first
so
time I saw this
80s.
movie.
It is
That's
very
why it
80s term.
was 80s. I didn't even say
Well-
all 80s. It was
Well,
fucking
what's
great.
funny is
All
I
that
mean,
saxophone,
Michael,
Dave?
we'll get all that.
Oh
Well,
my
the
God.
saxophone, but the steel drums, the score was great. I should let Mike get into all of the stats, but it was a very 70s feel to it. Also, it was kind of
Yeah.
like a gritty, because it was Walter Hill. Walter Hill, very 70s director.
The Warriors, director of the
Nolte's
Warriors.
kind of yes,
Yep.
the Warriors, which we saw a few people from the Warriors.
sure
in
did.
this. But why don't you
Man, I
kick
thought-
it off?
I-
Let us
hold on,
know.
Before he takes it off, though, like I called Mikey earlier today. It's like this score was so 80s. I thought
It was, but it
Beverly
was
Hills
the
Cop,
saxophone
all the
was not
80s.
great, but certain scenes the score was great when you had like the steel drums when they were at the beginning,
They're-
even
yeah.
the beginning, the prison break. It was it was I don't know. I thought it was just very it was 80s ish like
The-
action
the-
movie type.
Yeah, the music
of a
was,
score.
the style was. There was a lot of tropes, but I think this also kind of started
This
a lot of those
original,
tropes.
yeah, this
That's like
originated.
82. That
buddy cop,
loud,
buddy.
captain screaming.
Kate, I want to see you right away. We got a lot to talk about. God damn it, do you read me, Kate?
Yeah, I hear you. Your voice carries. 5 minutes.
I've seen that parodied in
Oh
like
yes,
in movies.
so often.
Yeah,
and then
that's
Beverly
it.
Hills Cop just rips it. I mean, rips it up, but it's like
Yeah.
a trope after this movie.
Yeah.
So Freebie and the Bean, I guess, is kind of like a. I don't even think I've ever seen it, but was kind of a buddy cop movie, I think. But this was like, this was one of the original, obviously.
like the buddy-
Midnight Run is it's like
it's a similar
a
type.
difference with a cop and a
yeah,
was a
convict.
private eye and a convict. Obviously it's a different, not as touchy feely or
Not as racist.
not as dark.
Yeah.
Yes, not as racist. Well, I mean, didn't really have the opportunity
No.
to be with the pairing, but yeah, it was. This is the violence obviously is
That-
a little rougher in this. But why don't you give us the
Yeah, I
numbers?
have some
and then
thoughts.
we'll,
I have some thoughts on that I want to bring up. But yes, this movie was from 1982, written by Rogers Spottiswoode, Walter Hill, Larry Gross, and Stephen E. D'Souza, directed by Walter Hill, starring Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy, but also featuring the great Annette O'Toole, Frank McRae, James Remar, David
Yep.
Patrick Kelly, Sonny Landman, and Brian James, who I swear I thought was going to turn out to be a bad guy. And then I think, wait a minute, is that in part 2? Does he come back? I don't remember. That's Brian James
Sonny
is the Brian James is the cop who's like, hey, I took your number for you, like the guy who works with him.
Yeah, because of the awful sequel, he turns out to be like the
He does,
bad
right?
guy.
He does.
It's
Okay,
outra- The sequel is not. Yeah, but let's pretend that didn't even exist.
Well, that's the
sequel
one
was
that I
terrible.
saw in the
I never
theater.
watched the sequel.
I saw it in
Thank
the
God.
theater.
It's right. It's not on. It's not. It's
It's
insulting
came
to
up-
this movie.
right after Paramount Plus. It came up, and Rebecca mentioned the sequel next. I thought,
Shocking.
maybe.
No.
So it's got a 69% audience score, but a 92% critic score on the Rotten Tomatoes, a Metacritic score of 71, and on a $12 million budget, it had a box office of 78.9 million, which for a comedy, 12 million, that's big box office.
Oh,
Eddie Murphy was
definitely.
hilarious in this movie. Hilarious.
We're gonna
Eddie
get
Murphy
to that.
was
He
so-
sure was.
yeah, so great. It was not not nominated for any Oscars, but Eddie Murphy did win the Golden Globe for Best New Male Star of the Year in a Motion Picture. I don't know who he was up
Yeah.
against, but
Fitting.
Yeah.
this was, to me, when I think Eddie Murphy movies, it's this, Beverly Hills Cop, and then my personal favorite, Trading Places. These are the three, but this
Yes,
was before all of them. This was the first one.
yeah, it's
He's still
amazing.
on SNL.
I mean, he was it on SNL, right? I mean,
Right.
he was so
Oh, yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
great
him
first seeing him.
Episcopo, but yeah,
Yeah, no,
Wait,
I'm not
what,
saying
two
right.
seasons,
Piscopo pre steroids was great.
right. Pre
Just two
losing his
seasons
mind.
though in SNL, right?
I don't remember. It
I'm
wasn't
not
as
even
long.
sure.
Yeah, as because they kind of cleared house when he left.
Yeah, but it's amazing to think this is his debut.
He's very
Movie
natural, like
when-
act. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you see a comedian come out and it's just like, let me do my comic routine in the role. But you know,
Exactly. So
that's
it's
Ford Fairlane.
Well, that scene in the bar, the cowboy bar.
oh yeah, the best
The honky
scene,
tonk.
That was the best scene in the movie, I think.
Think I'm playing a goddamn game, man? You out of your fucking mind? Huh? I'm gonna say it one more time, okay? This is a policeman and I'm looking for an Indian named Billy Bear. I know everybody in here wants to cooperate with me. Hey, that's not even necessary, all right, man? I got the situation at hand.
Some of us citizens are behind you all the way, officer.
What's your fucking problem? Yeah, I'm on parole. That's why you running away? Yeah. Put your country ass down. All right, listen up. I don't like white people. I hate rednecks. You people are rednecks. That means I'm enjoying this shit. Oh, you loaded here. Where the fuck did you get this?
Tax refund.
It's bullshit. Too fucking stupid to have a job. You don't like that? You don't like that shit? You hate that shit, right?
What the hell kind of cop are you?
You know what I am? I'm your worst fucking nightmare, man. I'm a nigga with a badge. That means I got permission to kick your fucking ass whenever I feel like it. All right, listen up, man. One of them's underage, another one attacked a police officer, and I still ain't found what I'm looking for yet. Well, look, I think you're on your way to being out of business, all right? Let's see what we can fuck with next.
Hey, man, all right, okay. Now, listen. Now, the Indian hangs out with a chick who lives up the block. Just head up the alley across the street where Chinatown starts. She lives on top of the jewelry store.
I didn't ask you shit about this girl, man.
Look, give me a break, will you? You're gonna have to settle for her place because it's all I know. I'm telling you, I'm giving you all I know.
Well, look, Hoss. You start running a respectable business, and I won't have to come in here and hassle you every night. You know what I mean? And I want the rest of you cowboys to know something. There's a new sheriff in town. And his name is Reggie Hammond. Y'all be cool. Right on.
That is like the classic scene.
Hysterical.
That's my favorite scene, right? Most people point to that scene. Great line.
Well, the acting was fantastic too. Acting, comedy, it was great.
Yeah.
It was
I'm sorry.
so racist, though. It was so racist.
Oh, sure.
But how great is this? Nick Nolte is obviously, very racist. Makes some terrible comments to him, and like Michael said before we recorded.
Yes, Chris, you
Just
had
a
a
piss
list.
poor
You
apology.
had a list of them you wanted to say, right? No.
No, I was saying I'm sorry, I totally forgot what we were talking about. Dave was talking about the scene, and then the Nick Nolte as racist as he was, they were great together, right? And Nick
They
Nolte
were
was
great
just
together.
this grizzled,
Yeah.
terrible. I mean, it seems like Nick Nolte was probably like that in real life, right?
How does he get Annette O'Toole?
Boozer. I know, and how does he get into Annette O'Toole? But also, and Annette, he's trying to, find these two cop killer, this cop killer. Like, so I can't make the date tonight. I can't make it to your house.
They could have said
two cops.
Yeah, two cops
Someone
were
killed
killed.
two cops with my gun.
Okay, but these
Which,
guys
by the
were
way,
singing cops like there was no tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Well, Gans, one of the best all-time villains, James Remar.
You shot. I've been shot.
Yeah. So I also had that question. Does Dave have? I thought Dave was going to be wearing the tank top sweater like Gans. He just rocks that thing the whole movie, huh?
Why would you think I'd be wearing that?
I thought you'd be dressed up like the Warriors.
I could picture you in something like that.
How great was he in the Warriors, though? Oh, what a great character!
To me,
he was.
Unfortunately, I know him later as Dexter's dad. So I think.
Oh yeah, he's been in a lot.
Even a little squirmy guy from the
Warriors. Luther was from the Warriors, yeah.
Luther. Yeah, but like he's a bad guy in every fucking great 80s movie.
Yeah,
I want to see like a romantic comedy with him in it.
Not very likable, but
I mean, I know he gets thrown off a bridge, right?
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah. So
you promised you'd kill me last. We got to do that.
I lied.
Well, who did he throw off?
He threw Arnold Schwarzenegger, held him over the edge.
Oh yeah,
dropped him off.
It's been so long since I saw that.
Oh my God, you got to watch that weekly.
So I love how Eddie isn't in it right away, right? So
20-something minutes.
There's the great prison break scene.
Two terrible cops. Two cops are like,
guards.
"Hey, you!" Boom, dead.
Well, the prison. Oh yeah, exactly. Just piss poor job. And then you get the great Jonathan Banks. I don't know if you mentioned.
Do I dare say they should have been killed?
I mean, they weren't the best and brightest.
Yeah, but then you had the two cops with
Jonathan
Jack
Banks.
Gates. Banks.
I was like, I don't remember him being in this.
Breaking
Oh,
Bad,
that's why. That's why I don't remember.
It always got to me too. It was like, when he comes out when he just comes out shooting his empty gun. So why don't I bang the plot out real quick?
Let's do it,
and then we will go over some of our favorite scenes. What's funny is I always thought. And years ago, I thought that Trading Places just seemed like his debut for some reason, even though it's in between. But
it might have been just because I saw it first.
We may do Trading Places one day, maybe as a Christmas movie if we can. We have 9 million of those back then. I have one issue, always have one issue with Trading Places. It's that awful ending with the costumes, but the movie's brilliant.
I mean,
but
you didn't believe that Dan Aykroyd was
not
Jamaican?
even whether it's believable. It's just terrible. Everything about it was terrible, and the ape suit and it was just it just didn't even came out of left field. I don't know.
I'm smiling thinking about it, but yes, it is bonkers.
Let's go. So convicted criminal Albert Gans escapes from prison with the help of his accomplice Billy Bear. Side note, real quick. Is it not amazing that same actor, Sonny, I forget what you said his last name, who by the way was a porn star,
Predator, right?
Who was in Predator? He was I guess he was a porn star before he was in these movies, but he was in Predator and this movie. His name's Sonny, I forget his last name, but in both movies he played somebody named Billy, Sonny Landman. In both movies, he played someone named Billy who dies shirtless holding a Bowie knife. Very weird coincidence, right? Very, very weird.
Oh, wow.
Was it a coincidence or was it scripted that way?
I know, right?
Was it what?
Was it a real coincidence that they just say, hey, let's fucking make a little...
Let's say Billy. Let's call him Billy again. It would be a weird thing to...
David, he was also in. He did Pose for Playgirl too, David. Just in case you want to go back and look at your previous issues, see if you can find.
That's
he's second. He was second to last to die in Partner. He's the second to last guy that died. So he lasted to the end, just like Just look this movie.
His death was
This
a
is
little
right before?
stupid. His death was a little.
This is-
He holds up. Oh yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah,
but-
no, this is my fault for talking about how he holds up the knife and cuts himself when he wants to. Okay, so his accomplice Billy Bear, Gans, they escape, so they go to San Francisco to kill a former accomplice Henry Wong, and they end up killing 2 police officers and steal the gun of Inspector Jack Cates at a hotel. Cates tracks down former associate of Gans, Reggie Hammond, in prison, which this great debut scene.
Is that Hammond?
Hammond.
You got a name, cop?
Let's try Cates. Come on, I want to talk to you in private.
Perfect introduction.
He then gets a 48-hour release. Absolutely. 48-hour release to help him locate the gang. I think I need my glasses.
I'm going to jump in quick and say I thought there was going to be an issue because he forged whatever document to get him for 48 hours. Like,
oh yeah,
it
right.
Never came up
the
again.
other guy's like, this better not come back to haunt.
Yeah,
haunt
and it
me,
didn't.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, let's see. They go to where the last associate Luther Kelly lives, takes a shot at Cates, and is arrested. After Reggie shakes down a redneck bar, and they find Billy's girlfriend, which gets them nothing. Reggie and Jack end up in a fist fight. So Reggie finally tells Jack the gang robbed a drug dealer of $500,000, and the money is stashed in Reggie's trunk. Billy and Gans hold Luther's girlfriend hostage and plan to exchange her for the money with Luther, but that is foiled when Luther sees Reggie and Jack and ends up running. Reggie ends up tracking down Luther and calls Jack. They end up following him. I'm skipping some of the great scenes too, obviously, just to go over the plot. They end up following him as he gets on a stolen bus. He hands over the money and gets shot, and we assume he gets killed, and we assume his girlfriend does too. After the chase, Jack's Cadillac crashes, and Billy and Luther get away after getting yelled at by his captain, Frank McRae. Jack and Reggie are ready to give up, but decide to check on Billy's one last time. After forcing Billy's girl back in, Reggie ends up shooting Billy, and they end up pursuing Gans outside. Gans takes Reggie hostage, and Jack pops out, shoots Gans in the shoulder, turns and then shoots and kills him. Jack takes Reggie to see Casey, that's the girl he met at the bar, and leaves money in the car, but asks for a loan to buy a convertible when Reggie is released before taking him back to prison for the end.
And then they do it all over again.
Then they did that. Nothing ever happens after
So
that.
the two, Billy Bear and Gans, their deaths are pretty much like Billy Bear just gets up. He's got a knife. He's like, I've got a knife.
Yeah.
And then Reggie goes bang, bang. And I'm dead. And then
Plot-wise, right.
Like, actually he held him hostage. So Nick Nolte did get to shoot him first. And then,
Yes. And he
then
goes, I was
just ran out.
bluffing with, plot wise, it wasn't the best movie. You know what I mean? Like, it had some holes. They're like, let's go to Billy's girlfriend's house. Oh, let's go back to his girlfriend's house, and see if we can find them. They lose them twice. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's really just about
they shoot literally every cop that's in this movie. I mean, seriously, notorious cop killed with not every other police force fucking seeking them out.
When you right, the whole police force would be on this too. I'm going to let you do this one alone, Jack.
Yeah,
exactly. With the convicts.
So what's his name? Frank McRae is so great. Throws an N-bomb at Reggie.
He goes,
too.
yes,
And
that's
it's
right.
like, yeah.
He's like, I call him.
And it seemed kind of out of left field where Jack suddenly like, this man's got more guts and than any partner I've ever had, and he's more smart. And I'm like, really? You guys really didn't accomplish much. Really didn't do anything. But the greatness of the movie is obviously Eddie Murphy and
their chemistry together.
Their chemistry is great because Jack's such an asshole. grizzled cop, and they do have some good moments at the end.
Okay, now what?
Now you get to play cop. And watch that building back there. I'm gonna get in the back seat and go to sleep.
You son of a bitch. You knew where the money was all wrong. All we had to do is come here and wait. Christ, I almost got my ass shut off twice for nothing.
Yeah, well, being a cop is a hard job, Jack. The building opened up at 7 o'clock. Wake me up at 1:45. I'll be back here asleep. Shit. Jack, tell me a story.
Fuck you.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Oh, that's my favorite.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, great.
What of Reggie's some other great lines we got?
Never seen so many backwards ass country fucks in my life.
Never seen so many backwards ass country fucks in my life. He says at that place. That's so great. You bullshit. You're too stupid to have a job.
I liked that we saw the Bus Boys. The
Yes,
Bus Boys
Bus
have a
Boys.
long history with Eddie Murphy. I remember as a kid having the tape Eddie Murphy Delirious.
Yep.
And he's like, how about the Bus Boys? They used to open for him. And when
Oh,
he
yeah,
would
yeah, yeah,
tour.
yeah.
And then of course they have the other The Boys Are Back in Town. That's their song, and they got to
Yes. Which
perform a little
seems to
bit.
sound like every song they do, but
Yeah, but I was like, I went from the
we're
honky
going
tonk bar
downtown.
to this
Yeah.
bar. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I like the music in this bar so much better than the honky tonk bar.
Oh, of course.
It just-
Of course.
It was much
not
more
a
fun.
not a tough choice for me there though. But yes,
I did like
This-
watching the fight scene because you could tell when the stunt double was fighting was hilarious.
yeah, Eddie. It's funny. So Eddie, he seemed like this little runt, his character.
Yeah.
Just this hilarious. He seemed like a con man, but he's with this, kind of very rough gang. And then, obviously he holds his own. He kind of is kicking Jack's ass. Jack is a little dirty, but Jack certainly makes a comeback. It's a good brawl.
And then they kind of just
Good
clean
bro.
up together, like they're just cleaning up while as the car getting fixed. They're kind of over it. Oh,
Right.
what the heck, yeah.
Right, the cops stopped, but then Jack was like, "We're gonna fight again unless you tell me what's up."
So they used the money because the money came up and it just all of a sudden also was perfect timing. So they used the money to track down Gans. That's why they did. I was like, why don't they just go in to get the car? Oh, because they want someone else to
Yeah.
take it.
Wait,
Yeah, they
what do you
want
mean
Luther
they
to get
used the
us-
money?
Like,
They want Luther to
Luther
get
has
us to
it.
go-
Luther has the
Right.
money.
They wanted Luther, but they waited for Luther to get they didn't want the money.
Yes,
They were
yes.
using it as bait. Okay,
Yes.
that's
They wanted the cop
How
killers.
did you not pick up on that? You fucking.
well.
maniac?
When they were talking about it, I thought they're just talking about the money. And look, man, I was watching it quickly before we got here. I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm a very busy boy. This
You
month.
want to watch
Well,
it
that's
on
it,
one and a half
you're a very
speed somehow,
talented
were you?
person, right? And now you just show me you really do score on your talent. That was the easiest fucking thing to recognize in a movie.
That's a talent.
Hold on.
I don't know
Well,
if
mo-
that means. I
yes.
don't know if that applies. Squandering his
So
talent.
mean.
Well,
Yeah, you could say it in other ways, but I
Are
don't
you
know if
calling
this
him
was it.
slow?
I'm telling you, Colin slow. Yes.
That phone.
Anyways, keep
jumping.
going.
I
Sorry.
was,
Well,
I was trying to
all right.
segue into something, but I got yelled at. But by the way, Dave, you
Mean.
sound way better with these headphones.
Yeah.
He sounds.
You're not choppy. You're not chopping in and out. And we haven't had to say once, say it again. And if we do, it's only because you're so stupid. We want you to repeat something you said dumb.
He
But you sound good.
he looks like he's watching a cartoon in bed while a
Yeah.
a
It
I'm
doesn't
so
help that
fucking
he-
tired. I'm still
while a
jet
topless
lagged from
prostitute is
last
brushing her
week.
teeth.
It doesn't help that
yeah.
you're covering the
Good stuff.
microphone with your hand. But other than that, you're doing great. You're doing gangbusters.
I am.
Jens didn't seem to be interested in that prostitute. Lots of that was just all.
Oh, the
80s,
old
huh?
80s, yeah,
it's-
the
you
nudity
gotta
for
have
no
some
reason.
flash, some nudity. Well, there's always a reason, Mike.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree, but great side characters in this, as we mentioned.
And I'm used to
Keto
Annette
is the
O'Toole
guy.
as nice Lana Lang on Superman 3, or as Mrs. Kent on Smallville. That's the big things I know her from. So I've never seen her in this kind of just.
She was
a
so
little
prevalent
bossy.
back then, but I can't even remember anything else that she was in.
Those are the
You
two
know.
I remember. That's
I don't,
Yeah, I meant
I
back
don't look
then.
like what's her name? It's the famous actress. Oh no.
Oh,
She was in Deer Hunter.
I know you mean Beatrice Arthur.
Betty Davis.
No.
I said Betty Davis.
No, what's her name?
Are you talking about
Great.
Annette? I mean,
Yeah,
now I do.
What?
Now I do think I do almost know who he's talking about. He's talking about the redhead, right?
From what?
Yeah,
From The
From,
Outsiders?
No,
no,
from
Jessica.
Boogie Nights.
Oh, Julianne Moore?
I don't know.
That's
That's Dave's the one who said it.
no.
But that's what I that's who I thought he meant.
Yeah, but who does she remind?
You think-
You're saying she reminds. I will stay here all night until we get to this.
No, what's her name from fucking the Deer Hunter? What's the Meryl Streep?
Meryl Streep.
Meryl
Oh,
Streep. She looks like
oh.
Meryl Streep, doesn't she?
Wow.
A little bit.
I'm gonna go
No?
with no.
I guess.
She really her character really didn't do much.
She
I
just
guess they
does a
cut
lot
out a
too.
scene. Cut out a scene. And what?
She does a lot after this movie. Like she was.
No, she
I
was in
remember her
Superman
walking
3,
No.
and then she was on Smallville for like 10
Yeah,
8
Mike,
years.
you're not really. You're
Look,
not
man,
Like you never watched
bolstering the
that.
case.
she's on
all
Virgin
super-
River now that Tammy watches. She's still.
She's
yes,
been in a lot. She was in a lot
tons of
back
people
then.
watch that.
She was in a lot back
That was
then.
a get. She was
Sick.
Mrs. Kent. John Schneider was Mr. Kent. Don't get me started.
So Nolte was I think he was in Rich Man Poor Man, which was like a TV
Yeah, was this
series
his-
before he was in. No, he was in The Deep earlier.
To me-
I think The Deep was
The first
before
time I
this.
saw Nick Nolte was in Teachers. Remember that movie?
No.
Crispin Glover, teacher, can you teach me? He was like a substitute teacher in this tough town. I think Ralph Macchio.
Oh yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
The guy
No.
Richard Mall pretended he was not a real person. He was like he left like an insane asylum and he posed as a teacher for the whole year. Oh, classic. I
Nope.
mean, maybe not a classic, but it's a definitely an
There's
early
a lot
80s
more
movie.
movies than that, Mikey. Though.
I'm telling you what I know him from, Dick Face. Yes, he was in this and Prince of Tides, Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
Another-
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in
Another
a lot,
48 hours. The other 48 hours. All the 48 hours.
He was in that movie
then-
Warrior, as I think he got nominated.
Oh, that's right.
Later on. Did you see that movie
No, but I remember that
with Tom Hardy that we were talking
no,
about? Yeah,
he
I
was in
surprised.
he was in Hulk with Eric Bana,
No, Jesus.
the Ang Lee Hulk. The one
Yeah,
that
this
no one
is
cares
after.
about.
So he was, seemed like a famous asshole. I guess Julia Roberts hated him from I Love Trouble, whatever the hell.
Was that what that? Oh, boy.
Why was she hate
whatever
him
that
for?
movie. He was probably terrible to work with.
Probably
I don't know.
curmudgeon.
Probably an asshole.
He's he's been more famous in the last for that mugshot. Remember that mugshot of him?
Oh
with the
yeah.
crazy hair.
That looks like Jack Cates today.
Yeah,
Arrested for
yeah.
drunk driving during his shift.
He had some
He's
very
suspended
racist
for the
things to say.
14th
Yeah.
time. He did some very creative, racist, but obviously
Colorful language, they say.
But he was supposed to be an asshole. It wasn't
Right.
like
No, he wasn't like go out there and just come up with some things, Nick.
Yeah,
It was in there's a
exactly.
script. Yeah.
Yeah, here you go, buddy. Here you go. Just cook. Just.
But
make
I
this-
just was
make
like,
this scene sing.
wait, because at first he's like, boy. I'm like, okay, that maybe
Yeah.
that is definitely racist, but it may not have, that might have gone over, just, he might have just calling him a younger guy, but still. The watermelon.
The watermelon.
When he said watermelon, I go,
Spirit
oh,
chucker.
like, yeah, those two. Those are the two we'll say.
Yeah.
But when he said, I was like, wait, what? And
I'm like,
and Red-
watching this, I'm like, this is so 80s. It's so fucking 80s.
that you can get away with those
Yeah.
as just insults to someone without the
Yeah.
without any repercussions. Crazy.
It was crazy. Yet it still holds up as a great movie, right? Doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, when I say great movie, it's just great to watch. It goes down smooth, which I'm surprised nobody
it does.
has
That's true.
mentioned. Nice, quick 90-minute movie. First two
It is.
scenes are, great action scenes.
Great 80s fare.
Leading us, giving us something, moving the plot forward, and then we get Eddie, and then takes off.
And and we got
finally
Nick
we did
Nolte.
an Eddie Murphy movie here.
And Nick Nolte told at least 3 or 4 people, "I'm a cop. Let me get my badge. I'm a cop.
Yes.
Don't shoot. I'm a cop."
He was pretty great in that role.
Oh, he played it.
You know,
perfectly.
that I am. Get in the Clark bar for lunch.
Oh yeah, here's your meal
for dinner.
But he did let him go get, as you say, some trim. I believe that's
at the end. Yes. Oh, by the way, I love Eddie Murphy saying Luther.
What's happening, Luther? I'm sorry about the door, man. Did that hurt? It looked real painful when you slammed into it.
Do you have any final thoughts on 48 Hours? Because if not, I wanted to mention what we're doing next time. I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm almost positive this next movie also has some colorful language in it that we will not be playing in clips.
It sure does.
Movie I've never seen before, which is shocking because it is a comedic classic. It is a Mel Brooks classic. We're going back to 1974.
We just turned 98 today.
Today?
Awesome.
Incredible.
He rode a blazing saddle, he wore a shining star. His job to offer battle to bad men near and far. He conquered fear and he
1974's Blazing Saddles. David definitely watched the Gene Wilder documentary recently, so he's been high on these Mel Brooks movies. So I'm excited. What's that?
Gene Wilder movies, Dum Dum.
Yeah, but because I know you watched. Well, I'm saying Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles. You didn't mention Willy Wonka, or you didn't mention Honeymoon.
He wasn't even supposed to be in that movie. You know that, right? He wasn't even cast in that movie.
Which one?
Wait,
what are we talking about now?
Blazing Saddles.
Why don't you save that for the
I don't know anything about
the pod. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this. All right, listen, folks, you can find us on Twitter at
Wait. Was there anyone else supposed to be cast in this movie besides Nick Nolte or Eddie Murphy? It was just written for them.
Yep, it was it was Chevy Chase and Robert Guillaume.
Was it really? Oh,
no, I just made that up.
Weren't they? They were both in Seems Like Old Times. You got to do that movie.
I love that movie.
That's a Morris Family classic. We probably never will do it, but we should. If your brother Sean comes on, we will. I don't know why I picked him. I don't even know if he likes it. I assume he likes that movie.
Oh yes,
that movie we watched over and over again.
Yes.
Charles Grodin was great, but there really was. I think Jeff Bridges was offered the role before Nick Nolte,
Really?
And then also I think they talked about having Richard Pryor.
Oh, that makes. I mean, having a comedian
wouldn't have been.
there.
Yeah, it was. You know, I can't picture Richard Pryor being as. I can't picture him seeming like he could kick Nick Nolte's
being
ass.
smooth. And cool. Yeah. True. Right,
Like somehow Eddie Murphy did seem like it. I just don't. It wouldn't. Eddie Murphy was perfect for it.
Absolutely.
Speaking of movies, Richard Pryor was supposed to be in.
Oh, this I did know that he was supposed to be in Blazing Saddles. So I'm looking forward to finally
talk about
seeing that for the first time because I'm pretty sure Webster's dad's in it. That's what if I'm correct.
Yes.
So I am looking forward to that. But until then, you can find us on Twitter at @fine_movies, on Instagram and Threads at Fine Movies, Fine Spirits, or over on YouTube at Fans Not Experts, and of course fans.experts.com.
And Mike, you can find Mike at Fans Only. He's got a Fans Only page.
It's only Fans, fuckface. Christopher, any parting words from you?
Just listen to Mikey's movie month as it winds down.
Yes,
to the last couple of days,
Monkey Man today.
As long as it's not something awful like the Meg 2.
Yeah,
as long as it's not a waste.
Yes. No, that was.
Meg 2, Mikey?
I watched Meg 2: The Trench, and I have the book here, The Trench.
Why?
Because I saw Meg 1 and I wanted to know.
He's a completionist. I'm just going to tell myself that.
Yeah, it's what it is. It is what it is. But I watched today. I watched
shit movies.
I watched Monkey Man today. Great on Peacock. Very good. So that's it, my friends. Oh wait, that's my other podcast. So any parting words from you, David?
No.
We talk about great movies while drinking. We talk about great movies while drinking. Yeah, we talk about great movies while drinking. And we feel fine.
I want to watch Blazing Saddles a bunch of times right now. We're going to kick and watch it a shitload of times.
I'll do Blazing Saddles any day of the week. I love that
I will
movie.
watch it for the first
Great
time.
movie. Why have we
Jess and I
not
watched.
Like, why have we not done it?
I don't know, because we haven't. There's been a lot of good movies we haven't done.
Why haven't we done Goonies?
And good movies.
Fast Experts.